Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer live pop-up chat, and today we are following on from the video that I made yesterday where I reviewed the full Harry and Meghan African tour documentary, where of course they made some explosive comments which have, as I predicted, rattled through the media and have been everywhere and quite explosive. So, unless you've been living under a rock somewhere, I'm sure you know what has gone on. Prince Harry, yesterday in the documentary, kind of confirmed that there had been some kind of rift between brothers, between William and Harry, and we also got to find out about the toll that the bullying and the racism has had on Meghan. So I'm not going to go through all of those details again. That this is not what this video is about. So if you want to see my full review and my full thoughts on the entire episode, I made 2 pages of notes. I went through them all systematically. Do go and check out the previous video to this one today. But today, what I want to talk about is that there is talk in the media of Harry and Meghan taking some extended time out. We don't know if this is true. I will say from the outset, we don't know completely if this is true. We don't know how long. A period that has been mooted is round about 6 weeks, and in terms of time frames, I've heard suggestions that this could be towards the end of the year. So one of the comments that I want to read, and this is a tweet by Chris Shipp from ITV, and he has tweeted that palace sources confirm. Now, I do think, it's different when they say sources say, or a source says this, or a source says this, but he has actually put his neck on the line a little bit and said palace sources confirm. So I think this probably has a little bit more weight behind it than just a regular sources say, or a source says this or a source says this. So palace sources confirm Harry and Meghan will take some family time towards the end of the year, likely to be spent with Archie between the UK and US. If you watch Tom Bradbury's exclusive film tonight, it'll go some way to explain why. Well, obviously, we have watched it. And by the way, I think the entire documentary did make it onto YouTube in its entirety. So I'm hoping that you did get to see it. Obviously, I couldn't put it on the channel because of copyright issues. And I'm not sure how long those other channels that have got it up, I'm not sure how long it will be there for. So if you haven't seen it, do go watch it now. Because like I say, due to copyright issues, it could be gone whenever. So if you haven't seen it, do go watch it in its entirety. I will also say, like I said at the end of yesterday's video, if you're just seeing clips of it, I would advise not to watch the individual clips, because you are not going to get a full impact of what the whole piece is about. I think it's a sort of piece where you have to see it in its entirety. So avoid watching clips. That is my advice to you. Avoid watching clips. Wait until you can see it in full. And I think you'll be grateful that you've watched it all in full. Okay, so going on about this family time, like I say, it doesn't say how long, although I have heard certain sources, certain people in the media saying 6 weeks. Well, we don't know how long. I think it's probably more likely than not that they may take some family time out. However, I do have, in principle, it's really, really good. In principle, I would say I agree. I think they are, obviously, clearly, they are under immense pressure, and lots of talk in the British media. I've been watching the news channels all day, and this has been a story that has been constantly spoken about on the news, and it's all kind of spoken. All of the reports that I've watched or read have all mentioned mental health and mental well-being, and I do think a lot of them have been, even though some of them have contributed towards it, a lot of them are saying that, it doesn't look like Harry and Meghan are in a good place in their heads at the moment, so probably could do with some time out. I kind of agree that some time out would be good. I think family time, some time to unwind, to de-stress, to do self-care would be good. However, this is the hinge point. Um, they were supposed to have had, what, 5 or 6 weeks in the summer to have de-stressed, to unwind, to relax, to kind of regroup your thoughts, to compose yourself, to plan. But what happened in the 6 weeks off? We had all the media things about, the private jets. There was no let up from the media. So it's only good if the time that you take off can actually be relaxing and peaceful, and actually do the purpose of what you intend it to do. If the media are going to carry on, even when they're in any sort of downtime, relentlessly, doing what they're doing, bullying and all the rest of it, it's not going to work, is it? It'll just be a repeat of the summer. And actually, you could probably say the summer was one of the worst times in the past year or so. So, yes, downtime is good. And I would agree that I think they probably could do with some downtime. But it's only going to work if the media leave them alone. And we do not know if the media are going to leave them alone at all. So yes, as much as I'd love to see them have some time off, if they do, it all hinges on whether the media will leave them alone or carry on hounding them. Obviously, Chris Ship spoke about splitting time between the UK and US. I mean, I do think that going somewhere else would probably be a good idea. But then again, where can you go to escape the press? I mean, actually, where could they actually go in the whole wide world where they could be completely, shut off and private? I remember back in the day when Princess Diana used to go to Richard Branson's Necker Island. The press even found a way on boats to circle the island and hound her with their long lenses. So I don't know. I can't see a place in the whole world where they could go and be completely private. So I don't know. I'm going to see what people are saying. I want to hear people's thoughts on this. Also, if you've had a chance to watch the documentary and you watched my review, let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought about the documentary. Now, what's happening with my screen? I haven't got comments. Oh, I have got comments at the bottom. Right, I'm going to just put it on live chat and then check out these comments. So, let's scoot down a little bit. Christine's waiting until Wednesday to watch. Like I say, watch it in its entirety. But the last time I looked, I think it was on YouTube somewhere. But like I say, how long for, I don't know. They could be taken down at any moment. Parmalee Stevens says, I don't want to see it. It's sad. A lot of it was sad. But a lot of it was hard-hitting, like I said yesterday. A lot of it tackles issues of racism, apartheid. But there are also joyous moments as well. There are lots, if you're thinking it's all going to be downbeat, it's not. There were lots of joyous moments where people from Africa were singing and dancing and being joyous. So there is joy in there. That documentary takes you through the full range of emotions. It really does. Joy, sadness, anger, happy, everything. The full spectrum of emotions is in there. So I would advise watching it. Lauren saw it on YouTube last night. Carol says, you were right on that, Elliot. Thank you. Karen Johnson says, Chris Ship is a bad source to me. He misrepresented a quote from Meghan as being against the royal family. Well, I mean, I'm not going to comment on individual comments. However, going by his tweet, analysing the words that he's using in that tweet, he has actually specifically said, palace sources confirm. That is slightly more sticking your neck out on the line than saying just a source says, or, sources say this, sources say that. So I would go out on a limb and probably have to say that the word choice that he has used in that tweet probably indicates that he has actually spoken to a palace source. So I'm going to tentatively say, even though it's not confirmed they're going to take some time out, I think that has been spoken about, and I think he probably has got that from a palace source. So, in that particular instance, I think he's probably right. But like I say, we need to obviously wait until it actually happens. But I think he's just going by the wording that he's used. I think he's probably onto something there. Matilda says, "What rift is more like growing up two households with different values and goals?" Well, I stand by what I've said all the way through. I don't think that there was, these massive fights that the press kind of blew it all up to be. Harry in the documentary did say that, the majority of the stuff that's been put out there is untrue and incorrect. But he did confirm that he and William don't see as much of each other as what they used to. And that goes back to kind of what I've said previously. They've got families now. Harry isn't the hanger-on anymore. He's got his own family, so of course they're going to spend more time apart. But Harry did also say that he and William have had their good and their bad days, which to me and the rest of the media and everyone else, people have taken that to mean that there were difficult times. And that obviously I think fits in with the Royal Rift story, but I don't think it was ever as big and as bad as what people made out. I think they just, I'll stand by what I said. I think very early on when they were, dubbed the Fab Four, I think they very, very quickly worked out that they were on these different paths. That, Harry and Meghan wanted to go in one direction, William and Catherine wanted to go into another, and that it just wasn't going to work. And there may have been a series of bust-ups, of arguments, of brotherly bust-ups and fallings out that went on along that, which obviously resulted in the fact of that they split households for the best. And I think it probably was always going to be for the best. William's going to be king. He's on a different path. Harry and Meghan are on their own different path. It was always going to be for the best. And of course, Harry and Meghan moved away to Windsor and Frogmore Cottage. So he did kind of confirm that there had been stuff going on. So again, we don't know entirely what all of that stuff was. We don't know which bits he was referring to as the majority untrue, and then obviously some bits are true. So, but I don't think it was ever quite as bad as it was. I mean, I think the word bandied around at the time was tensions. Well, if you've had a few fallings out, then that might be what tensions are. Sonia says, "I watched it last night. My heart is breaking for them. Something needs to be done about the media, or I personally feel Harry will walk away from royal life." That is something that also people have been talking about. In the documentary, Meghan kind of, hinted at, well, if life's not worth living, if there's no enjoyment in life, what's the point? That's basically, in a nutshell, what she was saying. And I don't think that means necessarily Meghan walking away from Harry and leaving the royal family, but it could indicate how much can they take as a couple. Will they want to remain a part of it? Could they, for example, throw in the towel, up sticks, move to America, for example, or move to Africa, or wherever it might be, just move away, renounce royal life, renounce being financed by the royal family, to get their freedom, to get their privacy? Is that a price that they are going to be willing to pay, should it get to that point? And I think Meghan, she looked pretty forlorn when she was talking. She looked like she was in despair. She looked hurt. She looked broken in certain places. And this is from a strong woman. She's a strong, independent woman. And I don't think she realised quite what the British media could do to a person. I mean, she said herself in a different part of the interview, she was warned by her friends about the British tabloids, and she was like, that doesn't happen, blah, blah, blah. And it did happen. She wasn't ready, she wasn't prepared for that. it's an entirely different culture. And I will say, and I said it in yesterday's chat as well, being British, being brought up in Britain, it's something that as a British member of the public, we are used to. We are used to the press building people up and then destroying them. It's something that we are kind of used to. And it's not right. It's not right that we should be kind of, institutionalized to almost accept that as being normal. And I think it's taken for someone, outside of Britain to come into Britain to experience this, to highlight the fact that actually it's not okay. It's not okay to be bullied. It's not okay to be a victim of racism. It's not okay. And Meghan herself said, hey, if it's fair criticism, if I've done something wrong, I'll be the first to put my hands up and say I'm sorry. But this isn't fair. And I agree, it's entirely not fair. And like I say, I think it's taken for someone to come into the family to shine a light on the fact that the way that the British press are treating not just the royal family, but celebrities and even normal people. It's appalling, it's shocking, and it shouldn't go on. And it shouldn't be ingrained in us, in British people, in British life, that is the way, that it just happens, and it's always happened that way, and therefore it should carry on happening that way. It is a time that came to a stop, and I think it's taken someone like Meghan to come in and highlight that, and I don't know where that's going to go. I don't know how that's going to be taken on board. Maybe it's just me getting it at the moment. I don't know if other people are getting it as well. But hey, we will see. We will see how everything plays out. Christine says, family squabbles happen. I have a brother that's a jerk. They do. I haven't got brothers or sisters, so I don't know. I'm a little bit out of that loop. But yes, I have heard of siblings fallings out. But Harry did say that he loves his brother dearly. He did say that. Sonia says, I watched last night. My heart is breaking for them. Something needs to be done about the media. Or I personally feel Harry. Oh, I've read that one. But yes, I agree entirely. Shining Star says that narrative is not helpful. It suggests that they're not in their right minds about... Where's it gone? About the abuse they are receiving. No, that's not what I was saying at all. I think they are, at the moment, needing a little bit of time out. Don't get me wrong. The reasons why they're needing time out shouldn't happen. They shouldn't be needing to have time out because of the media. It's wrong. That's kind of what I've just said when I was answering the last question. But nevertheless, they have undergone a lot of stress. That's the truth. They have undergone a lot of stress. You could visibly see from Meghan's piece that she's a little bit broken at the moment, and regardless of why they're feeling this way, they are feeling this way. And I do think a little bit of time out could help, but only if the media actually leaves them alone and actually gives them that time out. Otherwise, they may as well just carry on. I mean, they may as well just carry on fronting it out. It's downtime is only going to work if they are actually left alone, and that is, I don't know how they can make that happen. Where can they go where they can literally just be left alone? Cassandra says they're both just worn out by all the gossip. I felt worn out by all the gossip too. They worked and prepared for the trip. God bless them. They did indeed. I saw a comment about the press taking time out. Well, I agree. I agree with that one. Like I said, if Harry and Meghan take a bit of time out, then the press should take time off them. But also, I mean, I agree. I don't think the press should be doing what they're doing with them. Like Meghan said, if it's fair, if Meghan has actually done something, then, hands up, fine, fair. But if it's not fair, if it's not true, then don't say it. So I would agree entirely. Um, yes, the summer was the worst, and she was on maternity leave. Exactly. So if you're on maternity leave and you're on your summer break as well, and you're still getting all that negative, everything that went on, what's a quiet period round about Christmas? I mean, it's got to actually be a private time. I'm going to scoot all the way down to the bottom because I want to see what people are saying. Yes, the press need to be put on a timeout like a toddler. I think they do. But the problem is, who does it? That is the question. I know a lot of people are, aiming their fingers at the royal family and saying, well, the royal family should put them in the place. But, like I've said in previous videos, the royal family are tied. They are in a bit of a tricky situation because of the way that they're funded and everything like that. Because they can't be seen to be controlling a free press. Now, a free press is one thing. Now, we don't like a free press where the free press is just telling lies. I will say that. But the monarchy cannot be seen to be, telling the free press what to do. Because that puts them in a very difficult position of power and influence. And the British people wouldn't accept, I don't think, the monarchy telling the press what they can and can't do. Obviously, it's not right what the media is doing. It's unfair. It's bullying. It's racism. But likewise, they also can't be seen to be telling the press, you can say this, you can't say that, blah blah blah. They are in a bit of a tricky situation, and I don't know what they could say or how they could do it. I think what has happened is Harry and Meghan themselves have taken a long time to be able to get to the point where they can actually stand up for themselves. Harry said himself in the statement, this has been a long time coming. So if it's been a long time coming for Harry and Meghan to be able to stand up for themselves, which is what they desperately wanted to do, what hope is there for the rest? But like I said before, we don't know behind the scenes what level of support Harry and Meghan are getting. Yes, Harry said he doesn't see William as often as what he did previously, but they do have their private WhatsApp groups and all the rest of it. So we don't know behind the scenes what level of interaction they've been having and what level of support they've been having. Also, I've heard today rumours of what Prince William thinks about what Harry said in the documentary, and apparently, if you are to believe the rumours, Prince William is concerned for Harry, concerned for his well-being, and concerned for Harry and Meghan, of course, that they're not okay. He's concerned about that. Well, that's what people are saying. Again, we aren't ever going to have any confirmation of that because that is, that's private. But I have heard whispers and rumours that he's concerned about Harry and Meghan and how they're feeling, and the fact that they had to go to those lengths to publicly make those points as they did in that documentary. So we're going to have to wait and see how it all plays out. Cypher says William needs to say something publicly. And Bella says, does anyone else... Oh, that's gone. Hang on. PJR says, I think Harry is suffering the most. He is a new father, new husband, and he wants to protect his family. He seems frazzled as to what to do to protect them. Of course, he is a father trying to... and a husband... trying to protect his family, trying to protect his wife and his child, and that is of vital importance for him. And I do think he's doing his utmost. He's doing his best to try and do that in the ways that are available to him. And like I said, like he said, this is a long time coming. It's been a lot of time spent in the making to get to the point where he's been able to bring legal action and to be able to speak up for themselves. Cypher says, if Harry and Meghan leave, the press will gear up for William and Catherine yet again. Sad but true. There's always someone they will pick on, but like I said, that's not okay. It's not okay, and that should not be ingrained in the British psyche. That it's not okay. How do I feel about the Netflix trailer for The Crown? Is it a new one? Oh, I may have missed a new one. Is there a new one out? I think I may have missed a new one. Oh, it's apparently a 3-minute one. I've missed it. I need to go watch it. Mary Thomas says, one of my 2 jobs is being a certified psychotherapist. Speaking out is the best medicine and a perfect time out. These 2 were on the go. The Duchess did a lot. I will recommend 6 to 8 weeks. Well, there we go. I think it would be good, but like I say, it's only good if they are actually going to get a break, and that means a break from all the noise. So, you know, here's hoping. Here's hoping. Ethan the King says, the Crown trailer is the biggest news. Well, I've been a little bit out of the loop today. Oh, apparently there's an error in the trailer. Oh dear. Agatha says, that concern is too late. He should have known what would happen when he had thrown Harry and Meghan under the bus numerous times. Well, I'm not sure to which under the bus throwing you are referring. Veronica says, when her British friend told her not to marry Harry because the tabloid would destroy her, I'm wondering whether her friend said it out of concern for Meghan or out of jealousy. Oh, I think concern. I definitely think concern. Because if she's a British friend, then she would know what the press are like. And I think that would have been a genuine warning. Sounds genuine to me. Oh, the tiara is the fringe tiara today. There we go. Samantha says, all the focus on Meghan takes the light off Prince Andrew, hence bringing Beatrice's engagement forward. Well, I mean, it does take, I agree, it does take a bit of light off all what's going on with Prince Andrew. However, I don't think this was engineered. I mean, I certainly don't think Harry and Meghan would have put out the 2 statements and then done this documentary just purely to take Prince Andrew out of the limelight. I don't think it's that conceited. I really don't. I don't think it's conceited at all, I should point out. Catherine says, did Meghan and Harry get help morally from the royal family? We don't know. Why is the British... Oh, that's gone. Well, we don't know. We don't know behind the scenes what level of support they've had. So just as much as some people might want to think there's been none, there also might be some. Or there might have been none if people think that there were some. I mean, the simple point is we really don't know behind the scenes what level of support they have had. Sonia says, I think we should all write to Harry and Meghan and show them our support and let them feel the love. And Matilda says, the media should just stop focusing on the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and concentrate on issues that would help the welfare of the community. Wouldn't that be good? Wouldn't that be lovely? Will it happen? One does not know. PJR says, get this chat to Meghan and Harry. They need to know how much all of us support them. I would love them to be able to see what myself and what others are saying about them. I just wouldn't want them... I mean, in a way, I kind of hope that they are taking... Do you remember way back when Meghan said about all the noise and that she tries to keep out of all the noise? Well, obviously, some of that noise gets through. And even though there is lots of positive noise as well as negative noise, I don't know. I think they need a complete break from all of it. I really do. As long as it's a healing break. As long as it is actually a break. And who knows if they will have that luxury or privilege. Nathan the King says, media won't stop if we all don't stop. Exactly. I mean, I would agree with that entirely. Curtis, we don't know if they're going to move to the US. In fact, they were talking in the documentary about Africa specifically. But in terms of the US, we think there may be some kind of UK-US split towards the end of the year, that they could be taking a bit of an extended break. Bethany Gold says, Harry says he reads everything written about him. Well, I'm not entirely sure. Ooh, now I'm going to have to go soon because my battery is very, very low. It says less than 10%. So, I'm going to wrap this up, and I think I've kind of mentioned all the points that I wanted to in this video. So please, of course, let me know all your thoughts and feelings and comments in the comment section below if you're watching on catch up. So, thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and also do hit that bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. So, I'm going to say, Harry and Meghan, if you are watching, there are so many people out there who support you fully, and there are so many people that have your backs. The British press are other British press, and, you know, hopefully one day we will see a change. It's not okay that they behave the way that they do, and it's not okay that it's kind of almost institutionalized in the British psyche that it's okay, because it's not okay. So just know that people understand, people are with you, and people care about you. So, from me in Shropshire, mwah, to you all, and goodbye.